All right, let's visit Omicron. Space dust and 3 planets. I guess let's check out the space dust first. Some trophies. Fuel? Yeah, fuel. Do a scan here. No resources, but there is a magnetic storm. The magnetic storm raging above the planet blurs the gaze of the auger rays. Only truly powerful diviner machines may see through the currents of magnetic fluctuations in their blessed vigil and discover the mysteries of the Emperor-forsaken planet. The rogue trader has decided to leave this unwelcoming world. Maybe he will return here one day. That seems odd. So if we had a diviner machine instead of our auger arrays, then we would be able to see in, because I think with our aspects we have options to change it out. Now that's the shield array. Do we not have a different aspects? No. But if we gained another one, maybe that would allow us to come back here and see into whatever that magnetic storm is. I wonder if that stays in my journal anywhere. No resources and another unknown scan. The ruins of an ancient imperial city were discovered on a dead world, completely deprived of an ecosystem. According to the reports, the entire settlement is contained in a titanic glass dome that once held an artificial atmosphere. Your augurs detect the framework of 3 other similar structures that were never completed. For whatever reason, the dome systems failed and left behind in this city a ghost that never managed to become a proper colony of the Imperium. Send out a crew to explore the city's temple district. Order scouts to gather as many supplies as possible. Drain the remaining fuel from the generator stations. The city won't need them anymore. Explore the local palace or leave the dead city. I don't know if we can go to all of these. Although part of me is thinking a world that's straight up a dead world. It's like, was this a world that was hit by an exterminatus? To just be that completely dead on a world that had people living at one point. Although I don't think it would have domes. If it was probably dome cities because the world around was dead. I don't know. Let's go to the temple district. Always a good place to start. 2 holy gifts. Nice. Temple district is situated in the heart of the city. The God Emperor statue, intricately carved from precious crystal, is suspended beneath the dome, supported by chains of gold, and can be seen from anywhere in the colony. Inspired by the majestic sight, the expedition members set off to explore the area with renewed vigor. Soon enough, they stumbled upon an ancient weapon lying on a pedestal, wreathed in sunlight. The expedition brought it back to the ship and told many tales of how the Emperor himself, who had been watching them from above, had directed their attention to the sacred relic. So we got a blessed bolter casing. Single attacks with bolter weapons automatically hit the target. Guaranteed hits if we do single shots with bolters. Interesting. And then 2 sets of holy gifts. So we could equip that onto Argenta or Pascal because both use bolters. But the whole point of a bolter, I think, is that you get burst fire. I mean, the shots themselves do a reasonable amount of damage, but single shot doesn't seem amazing. Although, if we did the thing when our morale is maxed out, Argenta as a soldier gets an ability that allows her to fire single shots equal to the rate of fire of the weapon, which means she could then do 4 single shots of the bolter. And that would be reasonable, since our aim is typically kind of terrible. I don't know. Order the scouts to gather as many supplies as possible. There's lots of stuff here. Provisions, Mechanicus creations, ranged weaponry, uniform kits. Your people flooded the city like a tidal wave, filled building after building, bunkhouse after bunkhouse, and receded from its quiet streets just as quickly. There's plenty of useful things among the findings, including foodstuffs and weapons. Drain the fuel from the generators. Got a bit more fuel. It takes several trips to deliver the massive Promethium storage tanks to your vessel. The crew grimly points out that colony was running out of fuel. Had the life support systems not failed prematurely, the locals would still have perished due to the lack of energy. And then let's check out the local palace. A lavishly decorated estate of the local ruler towers over rows of featureless bunkhouses. Several explorers perished from the cleverly hidden tripwires in the courtyard, but after losing their companions, the team easily disarmed the remaining traps in the estate. Anything of value has been promptly delivered to the rogue trader's vessel. The Lord Captain was even given an exquisite sword found in a secret cache that once belonged to the mansion's owner. A ghost sword. It's a one-handed melee. Good armor penetration. Damage seems alright. I'll see how that compares with Cabela and Abelard. Oh, is it an Eldari weapon? It is Eldari weapon proficiency. Then maybe not. Because neither one of them would want to use an Eldari weapon, or even could use an Eldari weapon. I'll see if Jai likes it. Let's leave the dead city. No resources to extract, so let's head out. I want to see if this Savannah world shows up in my journal at all to remind me to come back here. Okay, Eye of the Magnetic Storm. Yes. So that is showing up as a rumor to remind us to come back here. That's good. I was worried that's something I'd have to write down and remember. More plasteel. Only 2. I don't think I'm going to waste one of my extractium. There we go. On 2 plasteel. So, sorry. That 2 is not quite good enough. Okay, so that's the rumor. Eye of the Magnetic Storm. Any new routes from here? Okay, we could safely get to, well, unsafely get to this system. We've made good progress of exploring a lot of things. I don't think we're going to find a safe route over to these. If I want to get to this one, I think I have to hop back here and then take a fairly unsafe route. And that somewhat worries me. But I also don't want to just leave behind all of these locations. We don't need to go there quite yet. But I'm wondering if they have really good loot because they're so hard to get to. Anyway, we're going to go to System Speculo and take it as an unsafe trip. Time limits first. I don't know if we have any real time limits. Like, they say that these systems are in danger, but are they actually keeping track of time in some manner? Wait, what are we giving to Opticon? Give planetary data to Opticon 22. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if we actually have any sort of real deadlines, or if it's just game claiming that we're on a time crunch, but there aren't actually penalties. Lord Captain, permission to address you with a request. Our head chirurgeon is sabotaging the ship's operations. He He has quarantined several Voidsman crews on account of a piddling sickness. People don't even go to the med bay when they come down with it. They just wipe their noses and keep working. Only a dozen or so die from it in a whole year. We're sitting on our hands here, so I ask you to talk some sense into him. Your vox clicks and you hear a dry, nonchalant response. Greetings, your lordship. My name is Letard Forius. I am the chirurgeon majoris of this vessel. As your chief medicae specialist, I assure you that the quarantine is well warranted. This piddling sickness has claimed the lives of a number of meritorious officers in the past. This time, I intend to get the epidemic under control, study the disease thoroughly, and develop a proper cure. I hope you will agree that a single period of downtime is a small price to pay for the number of lives that will be saved and the increase in the crew's performance during other such outbreaks in the future. Not to mention the fact that we won't have to waste stimulants due to the afflicted using them as a crutch to offset their limited work capacity. How do you intend to study this disease? Forius is the officer in charge of all matters of health on this ship. Do not interfere with his work, Ravor. Or I object to these experiments. Get those Voidsmen back to working fitness. You will have to find the cure some other way. How do you intend to study this disease? By gathering enough infected individuals together, letting the illness progress, comprehending its properties, and finally killing it. The disease goes through several stages, with each containing clues to its nature and vulnerabilities. The Voidsmen will have to stay sick for some time until I discover the cure, assuming, of course, the disease is reversible in its final stages. Defeating a disease is a noble goal, but I cannot approve of your methods. Find volunteers among the crew who will agree to being infected in exchange for compensation. I expect you to cure every one of them once you are done. It's a nice answer, as Iconoclast often is. The Voidsmen are to be treated and put back to work. If you want test subjects, tell the Master at Arms to provide you with the required number of convicts and other riffraff. Heretical, make the most of it, Forius. If understanding this disease will indeed let you delve deeper into the nature of wicked afflictions, then you may have as many test subjects as you need. You may expend them all if that's what it takes. Forius is the officer in charge of matters of health. I mean, solving a disease epidemic. Like, we're building a dynasty. This isn't just how much profit can I get right now. We want to build up the Von Valentius dynasty as big and as large and as grand as it can over the generations. And so if there's a ongoing disease that's been plaguing us for ages, then solving it now so it's never a problem again in the future feels like the right call. So I don't think just saying, no, get back to work is the right call. So the question then is, get volunteers and pay them compensation for Iconoclast, or I mean, both of these could be working towards a cure. Voidsmen are to be treated and put back to work says stop what you're doing, but I do open it up to you trying to get test subjects from convicts and other riffraff. Basically, don't use my Voidsmen as test subjects. Get convicts as test subjects and get the Voidsmen back to work. I actually do like that. I can understand the compensation and volunteers, but I can also understand, like, there are people who are not of value. Let them be the test subjects. Get the people of value back to work. Yeah, we're going to go the dogmatic option. This may limit the potential of the study, but this approach is also acceptable. I will make up for the lack of material with my expertise. Thank you for taking your crew's health into consideration. Should you require my services, you may find me on the bridge, your lordship. Lord Captain, I bring dire news. A feud has broken out between the clans that maintain the void shield arrays. Rumor has it that the late Lady Theodora was seen on the lower decks, and so one of the families called for rebellion against the usurper of the void ship, that is, you. So far, no one believes their mad tales, but unrest has begun at the fringes of the compartments. The ship's enforcers are ready to eliminate the instigating clan, or pacify the entire void shield crew. The decision is yours. Find the source of the rumors and punish those responsible. I don't want any unnecessary deaths. It's a reasonable answer. Destroy the rebellious clan and find a replacement among the neighboring crews. Probably a bit too harsh. Pacify the entire Void Shield crew. Those who succumb to the provocations of the unruly are no less guilty. Or I have no desire to meddle in the affairs of the ancient void ship clans. Let them sort it out among themselves. No, just punish those responsible. But no unnecessary deaths. This will probably take more time than just going down and killing everyone, but yeah. Take out the whole clan? I mean, we could. That's probably the more dogmatic answer of we want to make sure that no heresy spreads further, so just everyone even remotely touching this situation has to die. But no, I'm not going to take out the whole clan. Although there is also the potential harm of if we take out just a couple of the original rebelling people, the rest could potentially also see it as more evidence that we are usurping the ship by force. But no, I still think, particularly after we've gone through a situation where we ran low on crew, that immediately just taking out whole clans feels bad. Let's take out those responsible. I'm a benevolent leader. And it's how we've handled things before, like when early on we had some trouble with some people and Abelard just sent down the Abelard just sent down the enforcers, and we eventually overruled them and said, no, we're going down ourselves to talk it out and find out what's causing the clans to rebel. And we resolved it peacefully. I think we're going to do something similar here. Yeah, it's technically not a dogmatic choice, therefore I don't have to feel bad about choosing the friendlier choice. Lord Captain, as Central Rosarian would say, there are no innocents in such cases. The clans are endangering the entire void ship, tussling over a strange and obviously false rumor. If you so desire, I will convey your wishes to the enforcers later, but right now, the unrest must be stopped and the people returned to their direct duties or replaced. So even she's like, are you sure you want to go a slow, simple process just to avoid spilling the blood of these people? Like, we really need to get this under control quickly. My wishes, Voxmaster, are the enforcers to sort out the situation before we forfeit the crew wholesale. Investigate the rumors and find the real culprits, and no violence. Destroy the rebellious clans, find replacements among the neighboring crews, pacify the entire Void Shield crew. Yeah, I mean, she does make a point. She does make a point that they are the crew over the shields. I'm assuming these are normal shields. Yeah, the Void Shield. Void Shield. I want to make sure this isn't the Geller field. If they are risking the Geller fields, that's an entirely different thing that has to be resolved immediately. Our Void Shields also, like our normal shields, also are important. And we want them to always be running at full strength. I don't know. I'm definitely torn. Like, I like the peaceful answer, but I agree that investigations take time. And during that time, rumors will continue to spread, and the Void Ship is more in danger. Versus if we just destroyed them and grabbed a new crew from someone nearby who still knows how things work, the problem's just resolved. Alright, Pseudonym, you win. We're gonna destroy the rebelling clan. I'll see to it, Lord Captain. But let it be known that I don't necessarily agree with that choice. But I'm doing it anyway. It wasn't my first choice. But like, we're gonna fight some pirates here. I need my shields to work. Okay, we have xenotech here that we could mine up. Do we have... I want to say we have a request for xenotech. And then we have Augur's Anomaly that we have to go down to. Give me a moment. If we go to our contracts... Yeah, Vladimir Tokara is wanting some xenotech. We'd get 3 profit factor. We also need to find Promethium, but that's not here. So... do I mine up the xenotech to give to Tokara? I don't really want to be trading in xenotech, but also there's the idea of I don't mine it up, someone else will. And I'd rather control the movement of xenotech myself than let it just do whatever it does with pirates and bandits and other criminals. Creations of the ungodly xenos, forbidden yet tempting treasures, the twisted minds of non-humans can create wonders that are fascinating in their mysteriousness and effectiveness. Yeah, we're gonna extract it. I'm gonna hold out on my thought of whether I sell it to Tokara. But we'll make sure it all goes to us, and then we can decide what to do with it from there. And let's send down a crew to this world. Is this a Xeno world? Who knows? Just a jungle world. But they have xenotech on it. Bottomless pit. Okay. Servitors mechanical parts. Produce quiet whirring, occasionally interrupted by clicking. Anyone that I can talk to? No. I guess let's explore this world.
None shall stand in my way.
Crimson is a good color for battle attire. Enemies will perceive no weakness, not even if you are bleeding.
My augmentations allow me to function effectively, even in the event of extensive blood loss. This is what should concern those who dare to stand against the servant of the Omnissiah in battle.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Rudimentary tools and devices are now covered in a layer of dirt and local flora. Carved pattern.
I've read about this.
The surface is covered in countless scratches, and you can discern some logic in them. Someone began by scratching strange symbols, but then defaced them, adding extra marks and lines. Okay. So probably some amount of heresy. Rusty cogitator. Pascal, sort that out for me.
What a shameful failure.
Seriously? Pascal, can you sort out your own injuries? You can't?
The Emperor sets my path.
Magenta, can you sort out his injuries?
My frail organics required it.
Thank you. Pascal, can you give this another shot, and this time don't... The machine spirits have long since left the rusted shells of these ancient cogitators. I don't know how using a computer caused you to get a fresh injury and bleed. But wow. I'll attempt it again.
Grants me insight.
Okay, and that gets us some basic goods. Another rusty cogitator. Can't imagine how that could turn out poorly.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Okay, so we can't walk over there at all. Awareness test succeeded on what? Because while we were just over here, Argenta saw something. Cabela saw something, rather. I think that's... Yep, we've already looked at those. I don't know what new thing was spotted. Oh, there we go, data slate. Not sure how I missed seeing that before. Numerous ropes and cables end abruptly at the very edge of the pit, vanishing into the gathering darkness.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
These ancient cogitators are long dead. Despite this, the covers of the machines are still intact. It seems unlikely that the inner parts were ruined by the elements, so they could still prove useful. Alright, let's grab this data slate. Leon Himmerfeld's field diary. It has been several months since we arrived here, and yet we are no closer to understanding the local phenomenon. All that we were able to learn quite literally lies on the surface. The object does not reflect sound or light. On the contrary, it very much absorbs them. After extensive excavation, we did ascertain at least that the object is vast and goes deep below the planet's surface. However, many attempts to measure it resulted in loss of machinery or staff. Archaeological studies have turned out to be more productive. Their findings have revealed an amalgamation of architectural styles of various cultures, including those of xenos origin. According to the boldest theories, the earliest of these structures date from the beginning of the 30th millennium, and all of them are without a doubt of a religious nature. Analysis of bas-relief and remaining epigraphic text shows that a cult was formed around the object. For many centuries, xenos and subsequently humans worshipped the object in exchange for certain boons, undoubtedly imagined by primitive or corrupted minds. Okay, so we've got some sort of unknown object, older or as old as the 30th millennium, that xenos and eventually humans worshipped. That's huge and goes deep underground. Well, that sounds like a lot of heresy. Inside the containers are the remnants of stones and frescoes depicting a black spot surrounded by structures of some sort. What can we tell about this inscription, Cassia?
Beg your pardon.
Time and weather have almost wholly erased the writing left by the unknown author. Can no one else attempt it? I mean, Cassie is obviously our most perceptive. But if I had someone else try?
In prayer.
Nope. Just a single attempt. Didn't even tell me what my roll was on that awareness. But apparently we failed. Well, we can try this inscription. Let's save beforehand, so I don't keep failing all of these.
I did it.
Oh, that echoes odd. The barely noticeable words in shaky handwriting read, "Touch the darkness and the darkness will accept you." Yeah, that seems bad. Is it just this dark water? The darkness swirls beneath your feet, a void of impenetrable gloom. You do not hear a single sound from the depths of the pit. No wailing wind, no rustle of dust. Examine the pit, lean over and stretch your hand into the darkness, or step back from the pit. Let's examine the pit. The bright daylight cannot pierce the darkness lying over the slopes. The longer you look into its depths, the stronger the feeling grows that this darkness isn't just an absence of light. It is something immeasurably vast, endless, capable of reaching the farthest thstars or swallowing a galaxy. Through sheer force of will, you avert your gaze. Yeah, I'm stepping back from that pit. Putting my hand into that darkness, when we already know that xenos and humans were, historically for millennia, were worshipping at this place to receive boons. We're not putting our hands in that. That is heresy. Nah. I'm going to save and then try it just to see what it does, but I don't think I'm going to keep it.
I won't tolerate weakness.
The idea of leaving without knowing would make me sad. I want to know what at least it does. But we saved, so I don't have to keep this. Lean over and stretch your hand into the darkness. At the edge of your consciousness, you sense something slimy and intangible, answering your invitation for contact. It seeps into your thoughts, tasting your emotions. Surprise and curiosity envelop you, but these feelings are not your own. Submit to the entity's will, try to dominate the entity, or quickly step away from the hole. I don't think I want to submit to the entity's will. Try and dominate it? Maybe. Probably the smarter choice is to step away. But let's see. Again, we saved beforehand. Let's see what happens if we try to dominate the entity. You feel your way to the barely tangible edges of the entity's consciousness, separate it from yourself, and squeeze it until it is reduced to the size of a bead. The entity trembles, trying to break free of your mental grasp. Surprise, rage, elation, and fear replace one another. After a while, the entity stabilizes, but the moment you loosen your grip, it escapes, leaving behind a piece of itself inside your mind. Really? What did that give us? Nothing in my log. I don't see anything on my character stats. Black impenetrable darkness carries on with its silent existence. We go to our character. Anything here that stands out? I don't know. Nothing I'm seeing. So that's just showing everywhere that we chose various options. Just that adjusted our convictions. No, I don't see anything in our character sheet that says that anything happened here. So let's reload. I'm really curious about what this darkness is and how it works. So it would feel bad to just leave without exploring it further. But also, I don't think my character would willingly accept whatever this is. So let's just see what happens if we submit to the entity's will. You're hit by a sudden wave of all-consuming silence. A moment later, the world around you disappears, leaving only black, viscous, boundless darkness. The absoluteness of it is overwhelming, and you slowly sink into the void that is sucking you in. What are you, or what do you want from me? What are you? You're looking at a tiny person peeking over the edge of the bottomless darkness. You're looking at yourself. Then you blink and see the same place, except the camp around you is full of life. Scholars are zipping back and forth between field structures. switching on unfamiliar machines in an attempt to know the unknown. A moment later, they are all nude, singing and dancing around the pit. The smell of heated bodies, blood, and sweat assaults your nostrils, drowning out your thoughts. One by one, lunatics fall into the embrace of nothingness. You make out toad-like xenos building a temple around the pit. They are praying, conducting rites, making sacrifices to the darkness in hopes of unimaginable gifts. Then darkness shrouds everything once more. Or rather, you are the darkness, something immeasurable, vast, endless, capable of reaching the farthest stars or swallowing a galaxy. But some will pulls you out of the cozy embrace of the void, toward the light, and you snap out of the vision as sorrow fills you from within. What do you want from me? You find yourself on the floor of an abandoned estate. You feel someone's disgusting presence behind you, and raspy, foul breath tickles your nostrils. A drop of water trickles down from the stone ceiling and shatters the silence with a deafening splash. The heavy door before you is open. You could try to escape. It is now or never. Get up and try and run as fast as you can. Abelard. It's funny when I'm inside of a vision, but I'm able to use my companion's skill stats. Or willpower. Turn around and fight the creature. It's a better roll, and it makes more sense that we are the one fighting this. Turn around and fight the creature. You turn around, intent on killing the thing with your bare hands, but then exclaim in hesitation. You recognize the disfigured monster that is staring at you balefully from the darkness. You let out a heavy sigh, and a cloud of hot, fetid vapor settles on the smooth surface of the mirror. You sit at the apex of a massive onyx pyramid. Your abilities are limitless. You are a single thought. You can raise mountains, drain an ocean, or disperse the clouds, but nobody cares anymore. Soon your brothers and sisters will sacrifice you so that they can share your power among themselves and guide the civilization to prosperity. Pervert the ritual to stop the insane civilization for all time. Fellowship. Proceed with the ceremony for the sake of future generations. Or strength. Kill your brothers and sisters and be the sole ruler of the civilization. Again, we're not keeping any of these choices. So I think we'll go with kill your brothers and sisters and be the sole ruler of the civilization. As your brothers and sisters surround you, you release your powers and consume every last one of them. For 10,000 days and as many nights, you battle their souls until you subdue them completely. Immortal, you remain on the throne for thousands of years, watching your civilization blossom, die, and fade into darkness. You're relying on burning sand, struggling to open your eyes, but your eyelids feel too heavy. You can barely move your arms and legs. Your stomach hurts. Your throat is bone dry. Some of your kin, all emaciated, are scattered around you. The hunger is so strong that it is driving you mad. You let out a bestial howl. Something metallic clinks next to your right hand. A knife. This is it. You can survive. You must survive. All you need to do is decide whom to sacrifice. Cut off a piece of yourself. The decrepit old man in the tattered remains of a military uniform. The brawny woman with bloodied hands. The ugly mutant with multiple heads. Young girl in heavy chains. The infant who is crying piteously, calling for its mother. This is all so weird. Like, we're getting weird visions, but it's not giving me any closer clues as to what this even is. I guess we will kill the mutant. Everyone else seems reasonable. The brawny woman with bloodied hands potentially is a criminal, and therefore could be a reasonable choice as well. The ugly mutant with multiple heads. You clutch the knife in your hand and strike. To the darkness's glee, your eyes close. You close your eyes and gorge yourself on the hot blood, sating your hunger, until a heavy smack across your face brings you back to your senses. You're lying on the ground, some distance away from the hole, surrounded by your worried comrades. Looking around, you realize someone is missing. After contact with the mysterious entity, one of the senior officers has gone... What? gone missing in System Speculo. Return to the void ship and scan the planet with the augers to locate the lost officer, if it is not too late. Pascal. Pascal is missing. Well, that is all extremely weird. And I'm curious where this storyline would lead, but I don't think it's a storyline that I would actually follow in a dogmatic playthrough. So, we're gonna reload it. Again. I think I'm going to touch it again, as we did, but then use our willpower to back away. Quickly step away from the hole. Each step takes a tremendous effort. It feels as if you are being smothered from the inside, grinding your very being to dust to the point where your heart just might jump out of your chest, but you stubbornly continue walking until the alien thoughts release you and the illusion immediately falls away. Okay, and we don't have an option. I was hoping we'd have an option of like, this is heresy. Like, I've experienced it. I know that it's heretical. We must burn it or something.
Follow my lead.
It seems like no. Ooh, a staff. Staff of Mindset. Wield this staff, power level 12. Ooh, that's a powerful staff. Gains Vision of Death ability. This ability is also available in its Heroic Act and Desperate Measures version. Power level. Affects the damage of this power. Enemies suffer a -10 penalty to all resistance tests against psychic powers of the telepathy discipline used by the wielder. Plus 15 willpower and plus 10 perception, but it requires telepathy. So we could give this to Adira, or if at some point we decide to branch out from just psychokinesis, we could pick up telepathy. What's Vision of Death? One creature within a 10-cell radius. Target must pass a willpower resistance test. If failed, the target suffers Psyker staff power level, which is 12, plus the Psyker psi rating, which is 2 or 3-ish or something, plus 30% of the target's current wounds, mental damage. The part of the damage equal to 30% of the target's current wounds cannot exceed 300. If passed, the target immediately suffers Psyker staff power level mental damage. If passed. Okay, they make a willpower resistance test. If failed, they take a bunch of this damage. If passed, they instead suffer Psyker staff power level mental damage. That's pretty cool. And then we just had another perception check, it seemed. Yeah, awareness test succeeded somewhere. Unless we hadn't seen those goods until... No. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything else to check out. I think we're just gonna leave. Yeah, there's nothing else to collect. No goods. And I can't interact with that further. But, I mean, it seems like it'd be a pretty cool quest to sort of get locked into a trance with whatever this is, and then somehow one of my companions vanishes during that time. We have to go on a quest to get them back.
It's about time.
Just doesn't feel like something my character would do. Just willfully accepting that presence. Augury's anomaly is still here, so it implies we can go back and still do something with it. I don't know.